Hi, this is Mike Adams of naturalnews.com asking the question, do guns kill people? Now, I love my liberal friends on issues like GMO labeling and support for organics and even things like decriminalizing marijuana. But recently my liberal friends have been telling me guns kill people. This is a very popular meme apparently across the internet. Guns kill people. And I find that very interesting because I've been carrying a gun for years. It's never killed anyone. So I thought today we would take a look and put a gun on the ground and film it and see if we can answer the question, can a gun kill someone? This is my Glock. And this Glock has never killed anyone. God forbid it hopefully will never be engaged in such an action. Ready? Kill. 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 Kill, 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 kill. Oh, I know what you're thinking. It's not loaded. All right, let's make sure it's actually loaded. Show you the magazine. There's the mag. Racket tap it again. Boom. It is loaded. And amazingly, it's still not killing anyone. Maybe it needs a magic wand. Let's try the magic wand. Whoa, whoa. Shoot something! Shoot! Fire! Kill! It's just not working. What a pathetic firearm! Huh? I know what you're thinking. It's not a real gun. Oh, you're wrong. It is a real gun. And guess what it took to actually make it shoot? It took a human being touching the trigger, making a decision to pull the trigger in a safe direction, by the way. There's a backstop over that way. And actually having a conscious being do that. The gun didn't kill anything all by itself. Now, I know what you're thinking. Maybe handguns don't automatically kill people, but maybe shotguns do. Take our Benelli M4 tactical shotgun, which is another essential piece of equipment on just about any ranch. It's also great for home defense anywhere. Let's see if we can make this shoot by itself. Shoot! 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 What a pathetic shotgun. Oh, I know the safety's on. There we go. Now it should shoot, right? Now it'll kill something. Go! Go! Now some of you might think it's not loaded because I haven't pumped it. That's because it's an M4. You don't pump these shotguns, folks. They're semi-auto. Oh, semi-auto, yeah. Obama says I don't need a semi-auto shotgun, therefore I shouldn't have the right to own one. Okay. What a pathetic shotgun. Let's see if it's actually going to shoot. It's going to kick a little bit. Oh! I guess it is actually. Oh, I guess it will shoot when you pull the trigger. What do you know? And yes, it was pointed in a safe direction with a very large backstop and nobody around. So there we go. The shotgun will only shoot or kill if a human operates it and makes a decision to actuate a finger, well, this finger, to do the shooting action. So just like an automobile, which is a lot more dangerous than a shotgun, an automobile can mow down 20 or 30 people all at once if the driver is sufficiently insane to make that happen. But wait, I hear you say, assault rifles must kill people. If handguns don't kill people and shotguns don't kill people on their own, maybe assault rifles will kill people. Like this one. A little ACR with an ACOG sight. Let me get it all prepped and everything. See that? All right. We are loaded, ready to rock. Let's start with the magic wand on this one. because we need a little extra magic. Shoot! Wah, wah, wah. Brrrah, brrrah. Bing, 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 bing. Boop, 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 boop. Shoot! I'm not waving hard enough, I guess. Shoot! Shoot something! For God's sake, you little ACR pathetic rifle. Shoot something! That's ridiculous. I know. Let's throw stuff on it. How about some zeolites? Shoot! Shoot! Let's hit it with something. Oh, crap. That put a pretty big hole in that bag. Shoot! 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 Damn it. What a pathetic assault rifle. It won't even kill anything by itself. Maybe it's not even functioning. Let's find out. Oh, I guess it is functioning. If the user wants to pull the trigger. Once again, in a safe direction. Okay? So there you go. There you go. I couldn't make any of these guns kill people or even just shoot dirt unless I made the decision to pull the trigger. Now, Obama says you don't need an assault rifle, therefore you shouldn't be allowed to have one. Well, that's a great argument for Adolf Hitler in 1937, 8, 9. Yeah, because if the Jews had had this, then not as many of them would have been gassed in the gas chambers. First, you disarm the population, and then the government commits genocide. So whatever you think about guns, recognize, number one, that guns don't kill people, and number two, that if guns are taken away from citizens, the government will have a monopoly on this. And whoever has a monopoly on this will, as history has shown, eventually enslave the other group and commit genocide. And that's what you really need to know about guns. Welcome to Gun Myths Exposed. This is Mike Adams, the Health Ranger, the editor of naturalnews.com, and in this video segment we're going to expose the liberal media lies about guns and also help explain guns to people who just don't know any better because they haven't owned guns or used guns or been around guns. So this is also to help clear up some confusion. But let's start by looking at these two rifles on the ground. Most people would call that up there a ranch rifle, a farmer's rifle, and they would call this a scary looking assault rifle. It's scary. It's got something there on the front. It looks like a, man, like a silencer or something, and it's got these holes, and it's got a scope, and it's got this curved magazine. It looks really, really scary. So the question is, which one of these two rifles is more powerful? And the answer may surprise you if you don't know much about guns, because these are the exact same rifles. Up top, that's a Ruger 1022, stock from the factory, and beneath it is a Ruger 1022, where the wood has been replaced with a polymer stock and a scope added. These guns are exactly the same. No difference whatsoever. They both have the same magazine capacity. You can take this magazine and you can put it in that rifle. They both shoot the same. They're both just the same. But again, most people would not recognize the difference because they're trained to think that any rifle that looks scary is more dangerous than one that doesn't look scary, which usually means it's made of wood. Okay, next question. Which one of these two rifles is more powerful? Most people who don't know anything about guns would look at this rifle, which they would call an assault rifle. Oh, it looks scary. Look, it's got vertical lines, and it's got rails, and it's got a scope. They would look at that, and they would say, well, that's by far more powerful, more dangerous, more scary. Well, in truth, this rifle is far more powerful. probably over twice the foot-pounds of power of a round coming out of this, because this is a .308 police sniper rifle used by many police all across the country as a sniper rifle, whereas that only fires at .223, and the bullet size of this rifle is barely larger than a .22 rifle, which is what we just saw. So again, once again, the rifle that looks more plain down here has far more power than a rifle that looks, quote, scary. Alright, now which one of these is more powerful? You already saw that one earlier, so you probably know that's a .22 LR, which is a very small shell, a very small bullet, useful for maybe sniping at rabbits if they're trying to eat your garden in a survival scenario or something like that. Pretty much useless in personal defense, useless in, you know, a school shooting. These are virtually no threat whatsoever to other people, which is why cops never carry .22 LR rifles. These are basically for target shooting and varmints on a ranch or a farm. But what about this one? It looks scarier. It's got a bigger magazine, and oh my god, it has a light. That must mean it's an assault rifle, right? And it has this kind of scary looking short holographic sight. Oh my god, that's terrible. Well, once again, both of these rifles are exactly the same caliber. Different manufacturers, but they fire the same bullet, which is the .22 LR. And let me show you what that looks like, actually, just so you can see how tiny these are. There's the actual bullet. And if we peel one off, you can see that's the round right there. It is tiny. And in fact, I hope you already know this, but the only part that actually shoots out is the tip. The part that looks kind of copper. It's actually a copper plated tip. This brass doesn't go out. This is just contains the powder to accelerate it. So all this brass stays behind, and this bullet is what goes out, and it's really tiny. Very small, virtually harmless to other human beings. Oh, but this is all they want you to have, though. The government wants to disarm Americans and leave them only with this, so that they're defenseless. Meanwhile, the military and the government agents will all have high-powered sniper rifles, .223, and everything else you can imagine. All right, now here's the next question, and it's kind of a trick question. Which one of these two rifles is a so-called assault rifle? Now, the media would have you believe that this is an assault rifle, and that is too. And the way we know is because they look scary. See how scary they are? Oh my God, that one's black. Oh my God, this one has a magazine that's got a pattern on it. It's got a pistol grip. Oh my God, how terrible. It's got a light. Oh my God, and some kind of a cloth strap. Must be an assault rifle. Well, in truth, oh, don't forget the scary sight right there. That thing looks really scary, man. In truth, none of these are assault rifles. And the way you can tell is by looking at the selector switch. This switch right here currently shows safety. If I were to flip it onto single shot, it is now a semi-automatic rifle, which means every time you pull the trigger, one round will go out. You'll notice it does not have a third or fourth position, which an assault rifle would have. An assault rifle would have a third position called a 3-round burst, which would be here, and then it would also have a full auto position, which might be over here. So instead of just 2, it would have essentially 4 positions: safety, single shot, 3-round burst, and full auto. You will notice that none of the rifles that I've showed you today have any such features, which means none of them are assault rifles. And the reason that they have no such features is because any rifle having those kind of features would cost at least $40,000. You can buy full auto if you've got at least $40,000 and you're willing to go through about a 6-month background check by the ATF of the federal government. It's an extensive check, and it can take longer than 6 months, and it includes fingerprinting, and it includes criminal history check, and you also have to pay an extra tax stamp. and you have to have paperwork with that rifle at any given time. And none of those rifles have ever been used in school shootings because they're so rare. In fact, soldiers don't even like the full auto feature on their rifle, which I don't have here because I don't own anything that's full auto. Why would I? I'm not interested in wasting ammo. Full auto is basically useless from a military point of view for a soldier to have. That's why they mostly use 3-round burst or single shot. So none of these are assault rifles, but the media would have you believe they both are, and that they should be banned because they're, quote, assault rifles. The very name is derogatory. It's almost racist. It's like calling a black person the N-word. To call this an assault rifle is derogatory. It's not an assault rifle. It's a single-shot, semi-auto rifle that can be used on a farm or a ranch for personal defense, and also for an armed citizenry to kill tyrants, which is, of course, the entire purpose of the Second Amendment in the first place, to overthrow an oppressive government and kill the tyrant. All right, there's another big hoax out there run by the media, which is claiming that you can buy all these guns online. No, you can't. You can't buy any of these online, not a single one. Nowhere in America can you buy these guns online. You can pay for them online, but the gun is shipped to your FFL dealer, which is a local gun dealer licensed by the federal government. And there you must undergo a background check, and you must fill out paperwork and answer questions about your mental health, about criminal history, and then the FBI actually checks that out and issues an approval code to the dealer for you to pick up one of these rifles. So this idea that you can just buy guns online, complete liberal media lie. But then again, that's all they know how to do, so why would we expect them to tell the truth about that? Now, another liberal media myth that goes along with that is that you can buy automatic weapons. And a lot of people would look at these and think, well, probably this one is automatic and that one is automatic, but maybe not the one in the middle because it has a wood stock and it's not very scary looking. Complete nonsense. None of these are automatic weapons, as I just described. Otherwise, it would have a selector switch that has a 3-round burst or full auto. None of these have that selector switch. You can even see that switch up there. All it has is safe and fire, and that's it. And there's the safety on the wood stock of the Ruger 1022. None of these are full auto. I don't own any full auto, and again, I wouldn't want to. And you can't buy full auto. You can't just go online. I mean, the way the liberal media wants you to think is that you can just go online and you can buy full automatic weapons, you know, through PayPal or something. It's completely false, utterly ridiculous. It's part of their propaganda campaign to try to mislead people about all of these weapons. And these all have an important use, not just on a farm, not just in a home for self-defense, but also, of course, nationally in the hands of citizens to protect us all from tyranny, which is the whole point of the Second Amendment. Finally, one more myth on this, the myth that the Second Amendment is about hunting or target shooting or self-defense. Completely false. All the historical documents, if anybody actually bothers to read anymore, which I guess precludes journalists because all they do is sort of reprint White House lies and corporate propaganda. But if you actually bother to read the historical documents, including everything leading up to not just the Constitution, but the Bill of Rights several years later, you'll find that the point of the Second Amendment is to put these kinds of weapons, semi-auto firearms, into the hands of the people for the purpose of giving the people equal firepower to the government. Equal firepower. And the reason we need that is so that the government doesn't become oppressive. Remember, when General Howe, British General Howe, came into Boston and Philadelphia during the pre-Revolutionary War days, he disarmed the entire population. And then they began to rape, they began to steal people's homes, burn them down, they had on-site executions, they had massacres. The British Army massacred the American people, or soon-to-be American people. This was before the Declaration of Independence. But they massacred them because the people did not own the equivalent weapons of the day to these weapons right here. So the first thing the British did is to say, you can't have guns. That way we can control you, we can oppress you, we can dominate you. We can run our tyranny schemes throughout all your cities and towns along the colonial region of the time. So our founding fathers said, never again. Never again. We are going to have these weapons in the hands of citizens so that we cannot be controlled, oppressed, dominated by any government, any tyrant, foreign or domestic enemy of any kind. If you thought Sandy Hook shooting was bad, you should have read the history about what happened in Boston and in Philadelphia when the American people were disarmed and the British troops were able to come in and just commit mass murder, raping, torturing. There was no Fifth Amendment at the time, obviously. You did not have the right to remain silent. You did not have a Third Amendment right to refuse troops being quartered in your home. You did not have a First Amendment right to free speech. You did not have a Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms. And because of that, you were enslaved as a subject of the British king. And our founding fathers said, no more. Hell no. We will put arms in the hands of the people so that we can be free as a republic. Now, the last point that's important to understand here is that any person in America today who says that we should be stripped of the rights to own, possess, keep and bear, and transfer such firearms like this, that person is a criminal traitor to America and should be arrested and prosecuted. To try to banish these weapons is to try to destroy the Second Amendment. It is to be an enemy of America. And if you're a member of Congress, a member of the U.S. Senate, or the President himself, you are all sworn to protect and defend the United States Constitution, which includes the Bill of Rights. And thus, if you attempt to erode it by banishing these weapons from private ownership and possession, you are, in fact, not only violating your oath, you are advertising, announcing that you have declared war on America, on the Republic. You've declared war on the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. You are a criminal, and you should be arrested. All law-abiding citizens in America should, in fact, arrest those who call for the banning of semi-auto firearms such as this ACR here, or even that little .22, or anything, any firearms, handguns, for example. I always carry my Glock. Here it is. You've seen this on film before. I have every right to carry this because of the Second Amendment, because of what our founding fathers went through, and they were tired of tyranny, tired of being oppressed, tired of having their women raped, their children killed, murdered, massacred by the British. And enough is enough. You know, Obama said we have to change, or something like that. It's time for this to stop. Well, that's what we said back in 1776 and 75, 74. Enough is enough. We will never again give up the right to protect ourselves, our communities, our families, our citizens, and any person, even if they're a celebrity, some nitwit like Michael Moore, if he says you have to give these up, he is a criminal traitor to this country, and he should be arrested and prosecuted for attempting to destroy the Second Amendment and disarm the American people. And idiots like Piers Morgan, that journalist, that British subversive agent who's trying to now disarm America and take it back to its pre-revolutionary days where the British ruled America, that guy should be prosecuted for, well, he should be arrested and deported, is what should happen to him, if not something a lot more direct and to the point to make an example of him. It is unconscionable that journalists on TV can sit there and say that Americans should give up their freedoms, give up their Second Amendment. Because if you give these up, folks, what's going to happen right after that is they're going to come for your First Amendment, they're going to come for your Fourth Amendment, your Fifth Amendment. It's going to be occupation all over again. Where we are today right now is just where the colonies were in 1775. Our rights are being eroded and destroyed. The media is working against the Republic. The media has become the enemy of America. And that's why you've got to support Oath Keepers at oathkeepers.org and gunowners.org. That's Gun Owners of America, to keep us safe and protected in our firearms ownership so that we will never again be oppressed by a dictatorial government, a tyrant, or even an occupying enemy force. So that's what you really need to know about firearms and the Second Amendment. We are Americans because we have the right to own these. If we give up that right, we become slaves.